All right, should we start? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting number 297 of Turning Point Toastmasters. I'm Anshul Mishra and I'm going to be the Sergeant at Arms for a club today evening. The mission of a Toastmasters club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. To ensure this, please follow certain ground rules. Please ensure that all cell phones are on silent or switched off mode. You have 10 seconds to check. Please speak responsibly about sex, religions, or politics in your speeches. Use the feature of raising a hand, applaud, and thumbs up when and wherever required. Please don't use Zoom messaging in between the speeches until it's essential. Until not required, please put yourself on mute during the meeting. If you're playing the role, no need to check if you're audible or not. One of us will let you know if the sound is not coming or is breaking. Please ensure that all the role players have added the role name as prefix to and real name as suffix in the username of the meeting. You have 10 seconds to do that. All right, now I'd like to introduce Toastmaster Madhav, the president of our beloved club, who's a very passionate Toastmaster and has performed all the key roles within the executive committee. And it is his leadership in the PR role previously that we are benefiting with the rich attendance we have for a club in regular meetings. And I, as a VPPR, am benefiting from it. He's always right there helping me and all the executive committee members out and has very great passion and vision for our club. And I'd like to hand over the stage to him to take forward the proceedings for the evening. Over to you, Toastmaster Madhav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Thank you for introducing me and thank you for giving this enthusiastic start to our meeting. Now, I would like to welcome guests joining us today. We have Toastmaster Diana joining us, who I should stop calling guest because she has been more regular than a few of our members. Welcome, Diana. Then we have Toastmaster Ashima Tayan joining us, who is also playing Toastmaster of the Day. We have guest Anumita Ghosh joining us. She is joining for the second meeting probably. I saw her in the screenshot of the last meeting. Then we have Toastmaster Kavina joining us. She is also playing the speaker one. Toastmaster, we have CA Megha Bansal joining us. We have Toastmaster Udaya joining us, Iti, and then we Ram. Ram is our member, but okay. Then welcome guests. I would please do still the end of the meeting. We would be taking your feedback towards the end of the meeting, and we hope you have. And we also have Vijaya joining us in the screen of Toastmasters 50.
No, he is only my sound technician at this point.
Okay, got it. Oh. And thank you, Sisti, for confirming that. Now, I welcome all the guests, and to start, to talk about the theme of the meeting, we have Toastmaster of the Day and Toastmaster Ashima. Toastmaster Ashima is a career counselor, trainer, and coach by profession, and she loves to travel and she is an avid reader. And I recently got a chance to see her book collection, and being an avid reader, she brings a theme talking about a book which would be Time to Think. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Ashima on the virtual stage to take us through whatever she has brought in for us. Over to you, Ashima.
Thank you so much, Madhav, for the introduction. Okay, so hello everyone. So before going to the theme, I would like to ask you one question. Have you ever heard about this word like called thinking environment or thinking space? So if you have heard, you can just reply yes or no, or it's something new that has come up to you. Okay. Um. Okay. No. Okay. Diana, Toastmaster Diana. Okay. Okay, it's new. Okay, that's also a good thing if you just can put it in a chat box. Okay. No, never. Right. So, okay. So before, introducing this term, I would like to start it with an example. Okay, so just imagine a situation. You woke up early in the morning and you got a call from your friend, or I mean a bestie, and he or she is saying you, I'm in a problem and I really want to talk to you. Can we meet? And you, as a good friend, you are going to respond it like, oh please, let's talk over call if it is very important, or you want me to meet me, then come over, I'll take a leave from the office, or let's meet up in the evening. And since he or she is in a problem, you are very eager to help him or her. So you let's say you are meeting them in the evening, and then you sit in a good cafe and you ask them, what's your problem? In the whole day I was just thinking about your problem. Now tell me, what is that? So your friend is going to tell you, okay, so I have this problem. And the way they are narrating it, you got to know what the problem is before she completes herself or himself, right? And then you stop her in between and you're going to say, okay, now I completely, as I'm your friend, I know you from so long, so I know your complete problem. Now now give me time to speak, and I'll tell you the solution. And you'll start giving your solution to the person. So 90% chances that you are going to do the same. So my question to all of you is it right to respond, to give the solution? Or is it or you can wait, I mean you can wait and take time to think, and then you can respond. So just think over it. By the end of this topic, by the end of the this meeting, I'm going to ask you what you are going to do. So what we are going to do today, we are going to discuss the concept of thinking environment. Before so it is a space where individuals are free to think and be heard without interruptions and judgment. In such environment, people are able to access their innate creativity, leading to the breakthrough insights and innovative solutions. So we are also going to talk about the 10 components which helps you to create such environment, and it going to foster the way, foster the way of how you can think creatively, how you can solve problem easily. So I just want to just give me a minute to share my screen. Okay, yes. Yes. So we don't take time to think about what we are doing. We are too busy in doing it. And just a minute. Okay. Is my screen visible to you? I mean,
Yes, it is.
okay. So we don't take time to think about what we are doing. We are too busy in doing it because, and second is there is time to think. In fact, to take time is to think, is to gain time to live. I mean, we all are too busy in our days. We don't even realize that, it require the thinking process required to, we need to pay heed on it, because we are too busy in doing all the chores, all the everything in our life, and we never work on how productively we can do things in our life. And to take time to think is to gain time to think. It's something a profound statement. So now we will be covering the 10 components of the thinking environment. So first, going ahead with the meeting, our meeting comprises of 3 sections. We have a prepared speech where speakers prepare their speeches in advance and deliver their prepared speeches and get a chance to get evaluated by the speech evaluator. Then we have table topics where guest and the Toastmaster will get a topic on the spot and they have to speak on topic given instantly. And our third and the last section is the evaluation section where everyone gets chance to improve. So it's time to invite the general evaluator. So please put your hands together for the Toastmaster Shrishti, who is not a designer but a design researcher who loves to read, write, paint, and eat. That's a very interesting introduction to Toastmaster Shrishti. So let's have an audio check.
Hi, am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are. Over to
All
you.
right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashima, for your introduction. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of a general evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I'll take notes on everything that happens and doesn't happen. I will evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of duties. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report. I am only able to do my job well because I have 3 very competent and special people assisting me in these duties. That is my tag team, the timer, our counter, and grammarian. Our timer for today is Nehashish. Our counter is Diana, and our grammarian or language evaluator is Udaya. I will also now hand over the mic to Udaya so that he can share with us the word of the day. He has already added it to the chat. Or should I just read it out?
I will read out just a second.
Okay, handing over to
Good
Toastmaster
evening,
Udaya.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening careful to their language usage. I will take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, and sayings or thoughts. As grammarian, it is only my duty to introduce the word of the day. And today's word of the day is brevity, meaning the state of being short or quick. And praise of the day is in a nutshell. You can use in a nutshell to indicate that you are saying something in a very brief way using few words. I will present my report during end of the meeting when GE calls. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you for sharing with us the word of the day, Toastmaster and grammarian Udaya. I will now hand the stage back to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ashima. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. Okay. So let us now begin with the first section, which is the prepared speech. This section helps a Toastmaster in preparing speech in advance, practice, and present it in the meetings. So I would like to call our first speaker, who is Toastmaster Chandra from Kerala. He is an enthusiastic Toastmaster.
Excuse me, Toastmaster Ashima. Actually, Toastmaster Chandra couldn't join because of some emergency. We could go ahead with the second speaker.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So we have time. I can go with the thing. Okay. So, before going to the speech, I would like to introduce our first component that is very important for a thinking environment. That is attention. So attention is what? Attention is the ability to fully attend to a person and what they are saying without interruption or allowing one's own thoughts to distract from the conversation. For example, when a kid or a friend comes to you with a problem, you always feel like, okay, I have to help her, but you listen to the person for a very short span of time and then you feel bored and you start, okay, this is my solution, which you just start, giving your views on it. So attention is what is basically listening with respect, interest, and fascination. It actually helps the person to, it actually helps the person to feel that there's somebody who is listening to me, there's somebody who is giving importance to me. So since most of us are from are working in the corporate, so I have taken all the examples which are, situation where manager is talking to an employee or an employee is talking to a manager. So for example, when a manager is giving a feedback to an employee, so they give their full attention to the employee without getting distracted from other tasks. So let's call our speaker Kavina. She is an IT professional with a decade of experience, currently playing role of delivery leader, where she is responsible for project and program management in automotive industry. She is serving as a club president from Electronic City Toastmaster Club and associate area director of Area 1. Before I call her on the stage, I would like to call her general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Nitasha Kumar. Are you there, Nitasha Kumar? Can you let's have a quick audio check.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. So yeah, please, over to you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. The purpose that my speaker is attempting is called Inspire Your Audience. The purpose statement is for the member to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. As we know, brevity is key. So timer, please note, she has to inspire our audience in 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best to my speaker, and back to you, Toastmaster Ashima.
Okay, so Kavina, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, so Kavina, a fling.
Can I 1 minute?
Yes, yes.
Can you please pin the timer as well?
Timer will be presenting on the screen, so it would be visible whenever the timer. So Snehashish, can you just try sharing cards once so that Kavina knows how it will pop up? Yes. Okay.
So Kavina, are you ready now?
Yes.
Kavina, a fling with Ferrari. A fling with Ferrari, Kavina. Over to you.
Imagine yourself walking on that charismatic, cheerful, and charming streets of Paris around those majestic Eiffel Tower. And there you stumble upon a tall, well-built, handsome French man with olive skin tone, luscious hair, hazel eyes looking straight through you, and a wide smile put on his mouth, just looking at you, thinking to talk to you something. And there I stood, was pleasantly surprised, and I started walking closer to him. As I started approaching him closer, there I could find the placard on his hand. The placard read, "A ride in Ferrari through Paris streets." I was pleasantly again surprised. And the Indian in me started looking for that cost in that placard. There it was. I was super happy, took a deep sigh because I could afford it. And I kept walking closer to that Frenchman. As I walked closer, his fingers pointed me to a different direction. As I turned to look what, I was struck looking at a classy red Ferrari. It was painted in that hot red, an over luxurious convertible, large grille adorned by that LED lamps. As I walked closer, there was the racing engine, all delightful to my ears. And then I felt my fingers over the Ferrari. It was sleek in finish. I could even look at my own reflection along with that Eiffel Tower behind me. That was love at first sight. While I was awestruck, I quickly rolled back into the reality. There I stood with an Indian driving license. Now, wait, that's not a problem. They allow Indian driving license. But then what? I did not know how to drive a car. I stood there as a face of disappointment and started walking away with my heavy foot away from that man. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Join me on my story, A Fling with the Ferrari. Days rolled by and I came back to India. But this fling with Ferrari never let me sleep. It kept haunting me in my dreams. One day, I woke up determined, thinking that yes, I am going to buy a car and learn driving. As a regular Indian, I convened my entire family and broke the decision open. There stood my mom, sister. When I opened the decision to them, all of a sudden their faces looked like question marks, a very big question mark to me. What? Why? How? What? Are you even serious? You're supposed to be getting married, said my mother. Why? Get married and settle down. No, my sister. How are you going to do this? You do not have any finances planned. You have to invest on your wedding jewelry. Remember, my brother-in-law. And there I stood taking shots of different questions and feeling self-doubt. But then I crashed all of it and stood tall and told them that I will stick with my decision no matter what. The next day, I went to office, stumbled upon my friend and told him this entire story. He said, Kavina, brilliant idea, let's do it. Wow, what a ray of hope. We quickly sat down and narrowed down a car which I could afford. The next stop was a car showroom. I did not know how to drive a car, so he did the driving test for me and we booked the car right then. The car was booked and the delivery was planned in next 3 months. And the next stop was driving classes. So I enrolled myself and went home the very same day. The next 3 months was with the driving classes until I could get the car delivered. I was very much blessed with an amazing, skilled driving coach. His name is Kanan, who took me very patiently through each of the lessons and made me a better driver. After 3 months, on the very same day of my birthday, I was able to drive my version of the red Ferrari home. Years rolled by. After 7 years, now I drive with my daughter in the car. My daughter sitting right next to me tells me, Mommy, look at that car. Let us drive past it. When I overtake, she screams out, Yay, my mom is a super mom. And then she gives me a high five. To me, that is staying by decisions. When I look back of what this tiny decision in my life had made me, it has definitely made me an independent person, where I do not have to rely upon my spouse or any other relatives for driving me to any place. I do not have to be dependent on that Ola and Uber drivers who always cancels me at the last minute. And now I have looked upon by all of my relatives as a role model, where now my sister drives a car and owns a car, the very same person who was questioning why I should own a car. And this particular decision in my life has changed my personality from what I was called timid to what I call right now courageous. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share my learnings in my fling with Ferrari to all of you. Number one, look out for those tiny opportunities in your life where you could take a decision which will change you in better ways. Number two, look out for those Dipankars and Kannans in your life. People who can get on board on your vision, because they are the people who fuel your ambitions and goals. Number three, stay invested in that whole process. Life happens in that whole process. Those 3 months was sure a troubled ride for me. There was ups and there was downs. And the whole process is to stay abreast of all the tides which could wash you away through the shore, but then staying determined and then reaching your decision. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, next time when your Ferrari winks at you, don't hesitate or think twice. Just open that door, get inside your Ferrari, and take your Ferrari for a drive. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kavina. Let's have a round of applause for the astonishing speech.
Thank you.
Now I would request Timer to give 1 minute so that everybody can write a review about her. Timer, please let us know when 1 minute is over. Okay, it's over. Okay, so so let's talk about the second component of thinking environment, that is equality. We are all thinking peers. You know the principle that every voice or perspective is valued and given value to be heard. For example, like in a team, in a team meeting, if your manager asks you to, no matter you are at a higher position or you are at a lower position or you are just a fresher, if your manager asks you to give your reviews or give your view on a problem that they are facing, so how happy or how encouraged it felt like. We generally have seen that managers who are sitting at a higher position are allowed to take the important decisions of the company. So I think the equality is one of the component which we should practice. If I'll ask you, like now you are at a stage where you are earning. So how many times you, whatever you are going through, how many times you are giving, thought that I should ask my parents about this, or how many times you have heard or heard from a child or your younger friend, to give a decision or to take a decision in his or her life. You're always there to help. Okay, I know I'm the eldest one, I know what is right, what is wrong. So we should always allow person to speak. So this is something which actually help the person to come out with the feelings. So coming to the next component, third component, that is the diversity, that is adding quality through difference. The recognition that diverse perspective lead to a better decision making and innovation. For example, a company may actively seek out a diverse range of employees from different backgrounds and experiences to bring new ideas and perspective to the team. So now coming to the next component, that is ease. Ease is actually a very important component that actually helps a company to grow. After COVID, many companies have started practicing it. It means giving space, no, not rushing. That means, the creation of a comfortable and relaxed environment that allow for more open and creative thinking. For example, a team may hold a brainstorming session in a casual meetings like a coffee shop rather than formal conferences. I actually myself have experiences. We went to a place like and somewhere around the beach, and there we saw some Americans talking about something. So I was just a bit curious and asked them, what are you talking about? Like it's a beach area, and people are enjoying, and they're talking over something related to their business or the office. So what when I started speaking to them, I realized that they are talking about the business. There's a group of 5, 6 friends. They were talking how they're going to start the business. So that they were there for a business trip. So the environment actually helps you to create to make good decisions, to think creatively. So for example, if you are if you have to you can just practice. If you have to take a very important decision, take a time out, go at a coffee shop, or take a break, go for an holiday, and start thinking, whatever the decision I'm taking, is it going to worth it or no? Definitely you may think 3 or 4 times again before taking that decision, but the decision you are going to take is worth it, is going to worth it. So please try to practice this ease. It is going to help you to think creatively and helps you to solve problem in a creative way. So now I would request speech evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Nitasha Kumar to share.
Toastmaster, excuse me, Toastmaster Ashima, we could we have the second speaker, as in first speaker just joined.
Okay.
So we could we could go for his speech first, and then we could get the
Yes.
second evaluator.
Okay. So yes, so now we have a second speaker, and I would like to call the second speaker, who is a Toastmaster, Adarsh.
Anshuman. The evaluator is Anshuman.
Okay. Okay. Adarsh from Kerala. He is an enthusiastic Toastmaster who attends Toastmasters meeting every day and attended 184 Toastmasters meeting in the past 191 days. That is commendable. He completed his previous fourth part dynamic leadership in 13 days, started on 21st January and completed on 2nd Feb 2023. Well, he is also a perfume enthusiastic with 64 perfume in collection, and point to be noted here that it's not for attracting the ladies. So before I call him on the stage, I would like to call his evaluator, Toastmaster Anshuman, to read out his speech objectives. So Anshuman, let's have a quick audio check.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashima. So Toastmaster Adarsh will be sharing his learnings from team collaboration in his speech today. The speech length is going to be 10 to 12 minutes. Timer, please note. And the purpose of the project is for the member to reflect on his growth during the completion of an entire path. And the purpose of speech will also be for him to share some aspects of the growth during the completion of the path. I look forward to hearing the learnings of Toastmaster Adarsh in today's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashim.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. So Adarsh, are you ready?
Yes.
Adarsh,
Yes. Am I audible?
yes, you are audible. So
Thank you.
Adarsh, learning from team collaborations. Adarsh. So over to you.
Yeah, I was searching for the timer.
Okay. Yes, go on.
Well, my Toastmasters journey, it was totally unexpected. It was through a Facebook search that I came to know about Toastmasters. Before, I have to explain what I was before joining Toastmasters to mention about my learnings during this. Before joining Toastmasters, I was a very dull, shy, introverted person who only bothered about me I never cared about others. And my parents also often used to say, Adarsh, this is not the way that you should be. You need to help others. You need to be with others. If you don't be with others, no one is going to help you when there is a need required. Even though I neglected it that time, with over the days, I understood that it was true. I have realized that teamwork or being collaborative with others, that is required in our life. Until I joined Toastmasters, I was a single person. I'm not mentioning my marital status. I'm still single marital status wise. After joining Toastmasters and attending a few learnings and trainings, which focused on motivating others, importance of teamwork, collaboration, I changed into a totally new person. I started interacting a lot with others. All my me only, that kind of attitude went away, and it has now been always teamwork and group activity. My exploration during team collaboration was fantastic. I started off with that usual path, not usual, the common path learnings. However, along path learning such as evaluation and feedback, writing a speech with purpose, icebreaker, they're all common among all the paths. However, there were a few different kind of learnings and levels, not levels, the projects in the levels which really opened my eyes. Collaboration, often inspired by that word. I was inspired by this majorly because 3 weeks ago, I noticed that our home club, Anandapuri Toastmasters, had a joint meeting with another Toastmaster club named H&R Block Toastmasters. I loved that event. I loved that energy, enthusiasm, the support from everyone, the coordination, collaboration. I was so impressed by that. And that day, I went to the president of our club and I requested him, sir, I would like to take over the Toastmaster of the Day role when we have our next joint meeting. And I would love that our club hosts a joint meeting with another club. He gave me the word, Adarsh, definitely I would give you that chance. Based on his promise, I started preparing from that day itself. And finally, a glad news awaited me on 2nd February. The president informed me, Adarsh, you are going to be the Toastmaster of the day. We are going to have a joint meeting between our club, Anandapuri Toastmasters, and another club named Alapi Toastmasters Club. Alapi Toastmasters Club was a relatively newly chartered club. So when I noticed that, I requested for the club participants who are all interested in taking up roles. And I noticed that majority of the members, they were showing hesitance in taking the roles. And a few also told me that, Adarsh, I'm only this much experienced. I would really appreciate if you could give me this role. I would love to take this. That moment, I understood that we need to give individual attention to everyone. Everyone are unique. So according to the differences, I thought I should do that. Taking into consideration the differences in the people's experiences, their skills, their expertise, I assigned the roles accordingly. And later, the event went on to be very well executed one with smooth flow, no interruptions, no disruptions, everything went well. The persons who initially told that they were scared of taking up such a role, it all went up. Everyone were happy. And towards the end, the president of the other club, Alapi Toastmasters Club, he praised us for giving them an opportunity. He praised us that, thanks for hosting the event for us. Next time, Alleppey Toastmasters president told next time they would host an event and they would invite us as a guest. That was very inspiring for me. And 2 days ago, I had the learning of motivating others. It was level 4 project 1. Before learning that, I wasn't aware about that motivational techniques. All I knew about motivational techniques was, okay, we need to encourage, we need to say good work, all these kind of things. However, in motivational strategies learning during team collaboration, I learned an important aspect. Everyone are unique and everyone have a different style of leadership style as well as motivational style. Motivational style examples could be a recognition oriented person, an achievement oriented person, a status oriented person. Say for example, A is a status oriented person. That person would only be motivated by, okay, I am that high level position. I'm not saying Toastmaster base. I am the senior manager and rest are all juniors. That person would be motivated by that status. If you go, that person would get motivated if people come and say, hello, sir, would you like to do that? Such kind of things. And for a person, then the second one comes, recognition. I am a person who is never motivated by recognition or achievement. We have the achievements and recognition style examples such as extra miler award in companies, superstar performer, best employee award. For me, these things never matter. I don't care about this. So if my manager is looking to motivate me without understanding the motivational strategies, if a manager or a leader looks to motivate me by giving Adarsh best employee award, best superstar performance, amazing performance, the manager or the leader would definitely fail because Adarsh is never going to get motivated by that. So this learning in Toastmasters taught me that it is extremely important for us to understand what kind of personality or that motivational strategy or technique that person, motivation kind of person that person is. If we do not understand that, we are really going to struggle. And what happens if we understand that and do it is, we are going to get the best out of everyone in the team, and we are going to get best results, achieve the group's result, the organization's results. So that is what a few things that I have learned from this. And earlier parts and this path also, I have understood that when it comes to Toastmasters, it's never an individual activity. It's all about collaboration, teamwork. It's a group work. One person does not make a difference. It's an overall group that makes a difference. And that is what I would love to explain about my learnings during my journey here. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Adarsh, for your astonishing speech. Let's have a round of applause for him. And trust me, we all are feeling so motivated after your introduction. I mean, I would like to know it after this meeting how you are doing it. So I'm also going to follow your path. I mean, you are such a motivator for me as well as for everybody, I'm sure. Okay, so I would request timer to give 1 minute so that everybody can share the valuable feedback for Toastmaster Adarsh.
I'll also launch polls for best speakers before the evaluation by Toastmaster Nitisha.
Okay.
And once I close this, we can go ahead with the evaluation.
Okay. Okay, so it's done. So I would request the speech evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Nitasha Kumar, to share the speech evaluation for the Toastmaster Kavina. Let's have a quick audio check.
Hi again.
Yeah, you are audible. Over to you.
Look for opportunities, look for your cheerleaders, and stay invested. Great take-home message. Mission accomplished. You have inspired me to look around and do the same. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Kavina, for that very inspiring message. What was really interesting was the way you started. My mentor has often said, the key, of course, all of us here in Toastmasters have heard that start with a hook. But when you start a story with the words, imagine that, you are automatically transporting your audience to another visual world. Great start, Kavina. Well done on that. I was almost in Paris imagining the Eiffel Tower beside me. So you got us hooked in with your great start. You had a good story. You had a great message at the end. I've really enjoyed, and I know for a fact that you have a lot of confidence on the virtual stage and a physical stage, and you owned the space that you were speaking in, even if it was just the black box. Your clarity, your interaction with the audience, the ease of gestures, body language was absolutely in sync with the words that you were speaking. So well done on that. However, I do have a few suggestions for you. While you did have a good and appropriate gestures, sometimes they were overused, which kind of distracted from the main message of the story. For example, when you talked about, the question mark, you had your sister, your mother, and your brother-in-law ask you questions. Here, there were two things that you could have done. One is, even though you are working on the small box, there are three aspects of the box that you can use. So sister is on the right, mother is in the center, brother-in-law on the side. So use that space, use that stage that you have. Second, every little action does not have like question mark. You did not need to, your face was showing it, your hand need not have amplified that. Similarly, there were a couple of other places where you don't need both gestures and facial expressions to convey a message. Be a little mindful of that. One thing which was a little disappointing, or maybe could be worked on a little better, is you took way too long to build the story of Paris. And the good evening Toastmasters came, it was really not necessary. At that point where you did mention good evening, it was really not even necessary because we'd already gotten into your speech. Then it really hit me that, oops, she's been talking for so long and now she's saying good evening, right? So work a little on that. It was a little evident that you had not practiced your closing, even though your message was fantastic. It did not come across as powerfully as it was spoken. So work a little bit on that. Continue building with the same confidence that you have excellent vocabulary. Own the stage, use it appropriately, work a little bit on your gestures, complement them well with your body language, and you will be an absolutely inspiring speaker. All the very best. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Natasha.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Natasha, for your valuable feedback.
Hi, Toastmaster Ashima, just a point of order.
Yeah.
Just for consistency, I think I'll go for evaluation next if the general evaluator doesn't have any issue.
Okay, so you want to go next, right?
Go ahead, Anshuman. I think
Sure,
for
thank you.
consistency, we'll break the order today
Okay.
and try to keep it as seamless as possible. And then we'll head on to the table topics.
Okay. Good. So I would like to request Toastmaster Anshuman for the speech evaluation of Toastmaster Adarsh. So yes, over. You are on mute.
Yeah, thanks a
Over
lot.
to you.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Ashima, and thanks a lot, Toastmaster Adarsh, for joining Turning Point Toastmasters in your streak of 190 meetings. I think that must be a record in itself, to join so many meetings consistently every day and deliver your learnings about the path and about team collaboration of what you learned during the course of the last few weeks. So the purpose of your speech was to reflect the growth during the completion of the entire path. I think you did justice to that in the spirit of reflecting on how your president of the club, your peers, your networking skills helped you grow during the journey of the path. As you delivered the speech, I figured that you have a very genial voice, which the audience really glues into. It was not forceful, and you had consistent eye contact with the camera. You use your body language, especially the hand gestures, well, and landed the message of what were the different milestones as you went about the aspect of team collaboration. With respect to the structure of the speech, I think you focused on how working with your president, taking initiative, networking, helped you build the value of collaboration. At the same time, every good speech has scope of improvement. What I figured is that while you shared aspects of how during your journey at Toastmasters started, how you worked with your president, how you networked with different peers, the structure of the speech could have been better because it was just to focus on the path completion and learnings from the path, while you talked about your journey of Toastmasters. So I think you deviated a bit from the purpose in general, though only certain elements and the story and the narrative was gripping, but you could have also challenged yourself to ensure that you stick to the purpose. Secondly, I found your ending to be a bit abrupt. I think it was just became a monologue of different milestones and could have had a good beginning, middle, and the end. So overall, great body language, good eye contact with the camera, great voice, great tonality. At the same time, what can be improved is structure of the speech and sticking to the core purpose of the path itself. I look forward to the next speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashima.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman, for your valuable feedback. Okay, so now it's time for the most awaited session of the meeting, that is the table topics, which is headed by the champion of many roles he played in the meeting. So please help me to welcome Toastmaster Madhav. So Toastmaster Madhav, let's have a quick audio check.
Am I audible, Toastmaster Ashima?
Yes, you are audible, and over to you.
Thank you, Ashima. I welcome everyone in the table topic session of Toastmasters meeting, where non-role playing members preferably and guests will be getting a chance to speak impromptu and on any topic given by me. So you'll be getting a topic and you'll have to speak on that for 1 to 2 minutes. One being the minimum qualifying time for poll purposes. You can speak for maximum 2.5 minutes. The timer will be showing green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 2.5 minutes, 1.5 minutes, and red card at 2 minutes. So that's all. I have few questions that I'll be asking you as table topics, and just raise your hand to nominate, and I'll start with the session. And we have Grammarian putting up the word of the day in the chat box. Do try to use that as well. Okay, so Diana, I would give you a topic and then you can write in the chat box. Your topic is what makes you smile? What makes you smile, Diana? We'll wait for your response on chat while I would like to go with anyone who would like to nominate, or we could go ahead with I'm not sure whom to pick up, but Iti. Okay, Iti. Iti, can you unmute yourself and so that we can have an audio check? I can see you properly. There is no issue with video.
Am I audible?
Yes, Iti, you are. Iti Kapoor, where do you find inspiration? Where do you find inspiration, Iti Kapoor?
There are a lot of things from which I can get the inspiration from. It depends that how things motivate me. First and most important thing for me is spirituality, because it really attracts me, and it gives a platform to me to in my decision making, you can say. And secondly, we can find inspiration by seeing by seeing the situations around us, from an environment also. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Iti. Thank you for speaking. Now, Anumita raises her hand. Anumita. Okay. Anumita Ghosh, what is worse, failing or never trying? What is worse, failing or never trying? Anumita Ghosh.
Yeah, hello everyone. Definitely I would say failing is like never trying is the worst, not failing, because failing, as everybody already has heard multiple times, that failure is the stepping stones to success. So definitely we know that if so I would something that I have heard earlier was that failing, so I was reading this one thing where somebody was saying that growing up she has always seen her parents tell her that it is a good thing that you failed, right? Whenever that kid used to fail, they used to go to her and tell her that, tell me why you failed, and they used to congratulate her on her failings. So during growing up she never realized that why her parents did that, right? But after when she grew up, she realized that the real meaning of how it was a stepping stone towards her success. Because of that, whenever she failed in her life, in when she grew up, she never felt bad about that failure and quickly picked herself up and went ahead and kept trying until unless she reached the success point. So that is something that I really like, that really inspired me, and that is some perspective that I really never saw before. So yeah, so I think in a nutshell that failing is definitely not the worst, but yeah, the never trying is. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving us that perspective, Toastmaster Anumita. Now I would like to go with Maltesh. Maltesh, can you come on video, please? Okay. Maltesh, how do you define success? How do you define success, Maltesh?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Master. There is one quote that tells practice practice make us foundation for to think new skills, creativity make foundation for patience make foundation, patience make gives knowledge make us a great person. Like that, always we used to have some thoughts. Success will not depend on the result. How we take action in our day by day life, really that makes us successful. Because when we do any attempt, in that time we might fail, but it is not our failure, complete not our failure, because of the bad luck, because of some other thing we might fail. But in our daily life, how we take action, that really brings us success. As karma tell, what goes around will come around. Like that, success will not come with results. We want to focus for the result, but we want to focus for any achievement, but result is might come or not come, it is secondary. But in our life, when we go in a right path, every day we might see success. Thank you.
Thank you, Maltesh. In a nutshell, what I've got from your speech is the one line that I really liked is results don't decide success or failure. So thank you for that. Now I would like to go with Megha Bansal. Megha, would you like to give it an attempt?
Yes. Hello.
Okay. Are you going to come on video?
Sorry, can I just not come on
Yeah,
video today?
Yeah. Sure. Megha, what can money not buy? Megha?
I think money cannot buy peace, because peace is something which we get from from the environment we are. We can be very rich, but if we are not at peace in our heart, we cannot use money to buy it. And it is almost seen everywhere, like it is said ki people who are rich are less in peace. But I do not completely agree with it. But yes, peace is something which money cannot really buy. It is a thing which is possessed even by a poor and as well as the rich people, depending on the life they are living, and not just how much money they have. So yes, thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Megha. Completely agree with your thoughts. And we have a response from Toastmaster Diana. She says that she says something about someone made her smile and she doesn't like to be hurt, and she wants to smile. This is what I'm getting from her speech. That's right, Diana? Thank you. And she has used the word of the day many a time. If that's correct or not, that's for journal level and language level to decide. Now, that's all. In the interest of time, I would like to hand it back over to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ashima. Toastmaster, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Madhav, for the wonderful session. We really enjoyed all the topics. Thank you. So, coming to the topic, let me share my screen. Okay. So now coming to the fifth component, that is the appreciation. I mean, everybody knows that it's a very important to appreciate people nowadays. So the appreciation is actually an act of acknowledging and valuing a person's contribution to the conversation or group. It plays a crucial role in fostering a positive and supportive environment. For example, if a manager may thank an employee for sharing their insights during a team meeting, it actually motivates an employee to work better for the organization. Now, coming to the sixth component, that is encouragement. The act of supporting and motivating people to think more deeply and creatively. Actually, it allows people to come up with their own solution. For example, if you as a parent, as an elder brother or a sister, you may ask open-ended questions to encourage your child, friend, or a sibling to explore their own thoughts and feelings. And trust me, they are going to come with the very insightful thoughts that you have never heard of. Now, coming to the seventh component, that is feelings. Feelings that we often ignore. I mean, we never think about this. So the recognition that emotion plays a role in how people think and interact, and that actually acknowledging and processing those emotions can lead to the better outcomes. There's always a need for courage to challenge assumptions, to speak up and take risks in expressing oneself and exploring new ideas. For example, in a team may take time to reflect on their emotions and how they may impact their decision-making process. If you are sad, so will you able to take a good decision? And if you're in happy mood, will you able to take a good decision? So these are the emotions actually matter a lot while taking a good decision. So please don't ever ignore it. Always give value to it. Now, coming to the eighth component, that is information. That is a full and accurate picture of reality. The availability and accessibility of accurate and relevant information to support decision making. For example, a team may conduct research and gather information before taking any decision. So the information is something which is really important to set a goal, to take better decision, or for an organization to grow. So now I would request the general evaluator to provide the valuable feedback to all the role players. So over to you, general evaluator. Can you hear me? Let's have a quick
Yes, you're audible. And am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Over to you, general evaluator. Toastmaster Srishti.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashima, for a lovely guidance of or lovely walkthrough of time to think. And I think these aspects that you have shared are very relevant to almost everybody, in whether it be in their professional life or in their personal life. Anybody who wants to talk to other people would find value in this. Now, talking about a general evaluation of the meeting, I think the room and equipment was set up on time. We started on time. The guests were welcome, and we did not. So there was a miss from my part as well, where I did not introduce the timer and the timings for each of the sessions. So apologies for that. I am taking this role up for the first time. And I realized it as soon as I handed control back. And I will take care of that in the upcoming, whenever I take the GE role again. I would also, before I proceed further, I would also like to call upon the three, the auxiliary role players for, just one second, the poll has come up. While I'm speaking, you all can also do the poll. So meanwhile, I would like to invite the auxiliary role players to share their evaluation. We will start with the timer. So Snehashish, could we have you spotlighted?
I'm not going to own my video. I
All
will
right,
share
okay,
my.
could you? Yeah, you can share your screen.
Is my screen is visible?
Yes.
So today we have two disqualifications from table topics. Starting with prepared speaker first, Kavina. She took She spoke for 7 minutes 25 seconds. Prepared speaker second, others. He spoke for 10 minutes 1 second. Table topic speaker first, Anumita spoke for 1 minute 38 seconds. Table topic speaker second, Marute spoke for 1 minute 45 seconds. And going with evaluator first, Nitasha Kumar spoke for 3 minutes 29 seconds, and evaluator second, Anshuman, spoke for 2 minutes 45 seconds. That's my report. Over to general evaluator.
Thank you so much for sharing your report, Toastmaster Snehashish. I would like to now call upon our counter. So I would not call upon our counter. Our counter is Diana, and she has been very diligently sharing the number of lexical fillers that we have been using throughout in the chat. So you can actually search for your name in the chat and have the associated number of ahs, and any other fillers that you may have used. So please refer to Diana's report. And thank you so much, Toastmaster Diana, for doing that. Yeah. And now I would like to call upon the third auxiliary role player, which is Udaya. Toastmaster Udaya, he is serving as the grammarian for today. So could we have Toastmaster Udaya on stage, please?
Thank you, General Evaluator Srishti. Can you hear me? Okay. First, coming to the word of the day usage, two people used the word of the day. One is DTM Nitasha Kumar, and Diana used word of the day, Privarti. And praise of the day used by 3 people. Praise of the word is in a nutshell. It is used by Toastmaster Anumita, Toastmaster Madhav, Toastmaster Diana. 3 people used the praise of the day. And I noted down the good usage of the words like charismatic, majestic, stumble upon, lushy, azlar, sleek and finish, aztec, stood fall, ray of hope, transporting to the world, evident, audience clues into the topic, monologue, possessed, lovely walkthrough, and diligently. I didn't note any wrong usage of the word. And in a nutshell, everyone used the word of the day, people used the word of the day and phrase of the day. And the good usage of words are really awesome. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much to the whole tag team. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Udaya. I will now proceed with the individual evaluations for the role players and for the table topics. Okay, so with role player, I think with the Toastmaster, we have Toastmaster of the day. I think I've already spoken about your emceeing for the day, and I think it was a relevant topic. And thank you so much for introducing it to us. With I also wanted to thank specifically the 2 evaluators for their extremely nuanced and encouraging, motivating, and yet the way in which they introduced the corrections to both of the speakers. I think that was fabulously done. So thank you so much to both of the evaluators. And now going on to table topics. Iti, I think it was now that you're starting to regularly come back into Toastmasters. I understand that there has been a long break for you, but now that you're trying to come back, I appreciate that you're always taking up table topics in every meeting. So that is commendable. It does take a lot of courage, since that has been the theme of the day as well in some way. It does take a lot of courage to actually come and speak. And I have faced that in table topics where, once I've been given a topic, I completely blank out, even for topics that I can mostly speak about endlessly. But you can, what you can do, Iti, is you can try to, if you have, say, a particular way in which, or a particular stance that you are taking about a particular, about that table topic. So suppose if a particular thing inspires you, or if nature inspires you, you can actually add a story or a personal incident, or maybe you can include quotes from someone else, or you can also talk about some other media that you may have consumed. So it could be a story that you've heard, an interview, or anything else. So you can actually pick from the world around you. Nothing has to be like, your speech doesn't have to be entirely created by you. You can always include the viewpoints of other people. And actually that is a feedback that I would like to generalize and give to everybody, that you can make your to everybody now, not just to Iti, but in general, if people want to become better at table topics, because I've been practicing table topics a lot myself, I think the way to strengthen your ability to answer a table topic is to also pay attention to the the good things in your life, or the good moments in your life, and try to see how you can actually tell them concisely, or even to make note of the moments where you feel inspired, or you feel that you learned something, because I think those become very powerful anecdotes to include in a table topic. With Anumita, your topic was failure versus never trying, which is worse. And I think it's great that you added a story in between and you took a stance from the beginning. It would have been even more personal, it would have been even more impactful had you started with a story where you could have started with, let me tell you a story that I heard, or even more if you talked about your own personal story. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an inspiring story or a successful story, but it could have been a story of regret as well, right? Where you say that I was so scared of failure where I never even tried, and that is something I regret. So that is also a kind of thing that you can incorporate. With okay, now moving on to Mayutesh, I think your topic, how to define success, was a difficult one, but I really liked how you actually used repetition in order to build a logical reasoning. This leads to this, this causes this leads to this. So you actually created that path, and I think that was great. What I did feel a little was that we had a topic which was a more specific topic, and somewhere your answer kind of deviated from that. So whenever you're trying to structure your topic mentally, you can actually try to connect. So even if you deviate a little bit from where you started, you can try to join it back by reinforcing that initial message. With now moving on to Megha, your topic was about what money cannot buy, and what I really loved was the fact that you had a very strong start with a very strong opinion, saying that, okay, money cannot buy peace, or money cannot buy mental peace. I think that was a very strong and decisive start. And like I said to others as well, like you could actually add a story or an anecdote, or even something like if you've read some research somewhere, or you've like listened to, say, a TED talk or anything like that, you can include that in the story as well. With Diana, I think one thing that I really have to commend you on, Diana, is the amount of time you are taking has significantly reduced, which is great. You are able to do your table topics very fast now as compared to earlier. And one thing that is very commendable about Diana is always that she will always try to use the word of the day maximum number of times. So I think that's great, because I think a lot of people don't incorporate that. And just one correction, not correction, but one suggestion here. I understand that you're using the word of the day a lot, but only use it in places where it is relevant, because then you would actually affect the whole relevance, right? So you don't want to compromise on grammar and language to use the word of the day a lot. So I think there's that. Just a few words as well, like recognition is not a word, it is recognition. And some pronunciations, like it's not Fooster, it's Foster, with a with an aw sound. And with share, so I think in India we have a lot of inclination towards pronouncing it as share, like share this with me. I think that is something that a lot of people say, but actually it's share, right? Rhymes with chair, share, chair, not share this with me, it's share this with me. So that brings me to the end of my evaluation. And I would like to hand the stage back to Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you so much for your time, everybody.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator, for your valuable feedback. Okay, so coming back to the theme, let's talk about the 9 and the very important component, that is the incisive question. That means removing assumptions that limit ideas. I mean, the use of questions to prompt deeper and more critical thinking. It actually helps people to explore their thoughts and ideas more deeply and find new solutions to their problems. For example, if you have seen any coach, so what actually coach do with the client, they ask questions on the situation which they are going through. They actually encourage the client to think creatively about a problem, and that is an important technique which you can always apply to understand the person better. And now coming to the last and the 10th component, that is a place. It's a positive physical environment. The physical environment and context in which people think and work. For example, an organization may design a workplace that is open and collaborative with plenty of natural light and plants to promote a sense of calm and focus. Just think about a workplace if you have this. So I am sure that the productivity of the employees and the power of decision making will going to improve. So that is a very interesting thing which company can think to start with. So all the insights which I have shared today is from the book Time to Think by Nancy Kline, as Toastmaster Madhav has revealed it before he introduced me. So the author actually offers a unique perspective on the role that listening plays an important role in personal and professional growth. And it emphasizes the importance of creating an environment where individuals feel heard and valuable. By fostering a culture of active listening, organizations can unlock the potential of their employees and achieve great success. So when I come to the stage, I asked you one question, that if your friend call you and he or she is in a problem, then how you're going to help it. I mean, is your solution going to help the person or no? So anybody want to give any reflection on it?
I think it was whether you would take time to think or not.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would definitely want to take time, but it's so much pressure to come up with an answer quickly.
Correct. Yeah, that's the answer actually I'm expecting. Thank you, Toastmaster Madhav. Okay, anybody wants to reflect on the same? Yes, please, guest Anumita Ghosh, yeah, please.
So initially, when you actually posed the question, the first thing that came to my mind is how very recently I have started to, stop myself from answering or jumping into solutions, because the designer in me like cribs like, okay, I know what to do, but then really try to stop myself and hear them out completely, and then kind of process the information and give a solution to it.
Okay, great comment. That is actually we assume, the person even is calling for any problem or anything, we actually assume that, he or she only needs a solution, and we are as the most intelligent person on the earth. We are the one who can, very quickly can solve this puzzle, or this problem. Okay, so Diana, if you want to speak, please, you can write in the chat box. I'll read out for you. Okay, so this is actually we assume that we can solve anything, and that makes us in a we felt like we are very intelligent and we can do this. So I wanted to explain it with an example. Okay, so like in a brainstorming session which companies usually have, instead of immediately offering solutions or feedback, you can start by asking open-ended questions that actually encourage people to reflect and explore their own thoughts and ideas. This can actually help to generate more diverse and creative ideas and foster a culture of independent thinking. Because if you are coming directly to the solution, the person who is in the need of it is not going to follow it, because there are two reasons for it. One is you have not heard the person completely, for which he or she, want to talk to you or come to you. Secondly, 99% chances are this, he already has a solution, but they are calling you just to confirm whatever I'm thinking, whatever the problem I have, whatever the solution I'm thinking about, is it correct or no? So they are not coming to you for your advice, they are coming to you to speak the heart out. So as a good listener, we have to listen to the problem completely, and then we can, we just try to introspect, and then help the person to come out completely. You can just start by asking more and more questions, so that will actually help the person to come out of the problem. And if you have ever taken any session with the coaches, I mean, now the time this coach this coaching is something which is actually all around the a very good profession nowadays, and people are hiring the coaches. So they never give you a solution to a problem. Rather, they help you to come out of the solution by yourself, by asking question and they just go deeper to the problem, deeper and deeper, and they're just okay. Then you yourself realize that this is the problem and this is the root cause of it, and how can I solve it? So this is something which you can practice by yourself. And I recommend Time to Think is an amazing book. You all can, if you get time, just go through the book. If not, then just go through the summary of it. That is actually going to help you. And the approaches which they have shared, the components, can help you to think productively and helps you to solve problem, and you will able to communicate better. So thank you. It's honored to be a Toastmaster of the evening today. Over to you, presiding officer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashima. It was really helpful. And the last tip that you gave about asking the open-ended questions, it was really helpful. And now I would like to go ahead and take feedback of guests. And then I would let you all know about the poll result. But before that, let me also launch the poll for best role player. I have launched it. Please vote for the best role player. Meanwhile, I would go ahead for taking feedback to Toastmaster Kavina. Yes, Toastmaster Kavina.
Hello, Madhav and everyone. First of all, thanks for having me here. I've been hearing a lot of good things about your Toastmasters Club through Udaya. He's been telling me a lot of times that you should join Turning Point Toastmasters Club. And here I am. It's been a lovely experience having all of you amongst. It was a warm feeling that I've got Thank you very much for having me here, and I'm looking forward to keep hopping into the club. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavina. We also are looking forward to have you again here, and you can let us know about your club a bit if you want to, and when to have your meetings.
Sure. Thank you, Uday. First of all, we are a community club based out of Electronic City in Bangalore. We meet every Saturdays 4 to 6. Having that said, I would really like to invite all of you for this upcoming meeting. I should call it a workshop. We are planning a workshop for ISC, How to Win Your ISC Speech. That's the title. And we have the World Championship of Public Speaking 2022 finalist, Toastmaster Adeline. She is going to be there. We are quite fortunate to block her 2 hours of time slot for all of us. It's not just for our club, it's an open invite to everyone across the globe. Please do join us. It is going to be a workshop with an educational session for like 45 minutes, the content plus Q&A, where she is going to share all her tips and tricks, what she learned in the 2022 during her journey to the international speech contest stage. So that's something that she's going to share, her lessons learned, experiences. And then we are going to have open talk session where everyone, any question on the ISC could be shooted to her, and she will be answering all of that. And next thing that we are going to do is we are going to have a live session where one Toastmaster will be presenting their ISC speech, and she will tune it, basically look for different aspects of a ISC speech. So that's something that we will do. And number 4, which is a key highlight, is that she's going to talk about a life cycle from writing a speech till the last, how many versions of script that any speech could take to have that speech launched on an international stage for ISC. So that's the life cycle that we would call it. So all of this combined, put together, a power pack 2-hour session. That's what we have crafted for everyone. Please do join us, and it's going to be a brilliant opportunity for all of us.
Thank you, Diana. I think Udaya has already shared the link with us in our meeting group. I would definitely, if any of the guests would want to reach out, just you can ping any of the member and they would happy to share the link, the registration link for the session. I would like to next, most welcome, Kavina. I would like to take feedback from Diana, and Diana, request you to please type it in the chat box, and meanwhile she writes it in the chat box, I would like to go to Anumita Ghosh. Anumita, how did you like the meeting, and any feedback you would want to give to us?
Yeah, so feedback not so much really, but yeah, I'm really enjoying the sessions. And yeah, very honestly, the table topic today, I really got blank at the starting, but then I kind of got my thoughts in progress and like said something. But yeah, I think I'll keep coming back as a guest so that I feel confident enough to, you know, go into this prepared speeches and all of that. So I want to make this a habit first. And yeah, I'm excited for the future.
Thank you, Anumita, and looking forward to have you back in the meeting next week. And with that, let me go to Iti.
Hi. Yeah, regarding I really love to be a part of this meeting, Toastmasters, and I want to what say about it's what Kavina. Kavina, I read the Fling with the Ferrari. I really fall in love with the Ferrari. The way you spoke, and you are an enthusiastic speaker and quite imaginative. The speech was all about. And for others, she was detailed and informative. So thank you, speakers, for the speech. I really enjoyed the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, Iti. Thank you. And with that, I would like to go to Udaya.
Yeah, sorry for the bad light, but I'm really happy to be part of this club meeting again and again. And my Toastmasters journey started with this club. I really miss DTM Rupinder here, Rupinder and DTM Anand Katyayani. But nevertheless, it has really good content, and I congratulate Toastmaster Ashima for the theme she come up with, time to think, and she come up with a great presentation, and the speakers very informative and very interesting to listen to them. And it was amazing event. And congratulations to Srishti for first time GE role. She did fabulous job and a very well and good meeting. And I'm happy to be part of this meeting again and again.
Thank you there. Looking forward to see you back next week. And with that said, I would like to announce the results. Going with the auxiliary role player, best auxiliary role player first. I forgot to launch the poll before, so I launched it just now. And the best auxiliary role player is our very own Toastmaster Diana. Congratulations, Diana. Now, the best speech evaluator goes to Toastmaster Natasha, distinguished Toastmaster Natasha. The best table topic speaker goes to someone who said she was confused when she heard the topic. It goes to Toastmaster guest Anumita Ghosh. Then the best prepared speaker goes to Toastmaster Kavina. And the last but not the least, best role player. Best role player. Any guesses for best role player? Okay, I would say it. It's Toastmaster Asima. Congratulations, Asima. Okay, so that's all from my side, and I am stopping the recording and stopping the recording for now. And